Hey guys, this is Jam of jamonline.ph and welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna unbox and take a closer look at the newest flagship smartphone of Samsung, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. So we already know that the Note 20 Ultra is the best of the best of Samsung right now, aside from the Galaxy Z Fold 2. So this one comes in the Exynos chipset, which is available here in the Philippines. So we got two variants of this one. So we got a 8 gigs of RAM with LTE and a 12 gigs of RAM with 5G, and the one that we got comes in 5G. So as you can see here, it's the Note 20 Ultra 5G. So what are we waiting for? Let's unbox. Let's take a closer look at the Note 20 Ultra 5G. All right. So first things first, we got here already the smartphone. So we got here the Mystic Bronze Note 20 Ultra, and it's beautiful. I love the color that we're getting in here. I mean, the haze glass at the back and everything, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that later. So we got here the charger, which is a 25 watts charger, the USB-C to USB-C cable, and a USB-C AKG earphones. I believe the consumer unit comes with some extra tips for the S Pen, but the one that we have right now doesn't have that because this is probably because of its review unit. So let's proceed to our hands-on of the smartphone. So you have seen what's inside the box of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. I know it's interesting. So yes, this is their current flagship smartphone aside from the Galaxy S20 series and also the Galaxy Z Fold and the Z Flip 5G. I'm not sure yet regarding the Z Flip 5G here in the Philippines. Anyway, we got here the 5G version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. In the Philippines, we got here a Note 20 Ultra that is 4G only, and the other one is 5G. This is 5G. But despite using 5G, we're still using here an Exynos 990 processor. But we're gonna talk about that later. First, let's discuss the build quality, the design of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Just like the previous generation, the build quality and the design of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is really great. It's excellent. As you can see in here, we got here a haze glass finish. Basically, it's matte glass and it's really premium. If you're getting the Note 20, it's plastic. The Note 20 Ultra, well, it's glass and it feels really premium. However, you can notice that we got here a large camera module at the back. It houses the quad camera setup of the smartphone. And again, we're going to talk about the camera later. We got here a large and thick camera module at the back. And it's quite annoying that we got here a thick camera module at the back because as you can see in here, I placed the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra at a flat surface. See that? Yeah, that's wobbling on a flat surface for the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. But thankfully, the layout of the camera and the design of the camera module is really fine for the Mystic Bronze color of the smartphone that we are reviewing right now. Below, you can see in here the USB-C port, and yes, we still got here the S Pen, but this time it is placed on the other side. As a Note 10 Plus user for I think a year already, it kind of confuses me that the S Pen is placed on the other side. So yeah, it confuses me a little bit, just a little bit, but you know, I'll get used to it. And of course, there's the curved sides on the back of the smartphone. And yes, despite having a large footprint, despite having a large body on the smartphone, this one is just perfect for my hands. However, I would still suggest that you get a case for your smartphone just so, you know, to protect the smartphone from accidental damages. So for the display, we got here a 6.9-inch Edge Infinity O display, which means that we got here a curve. Well, it's a slightly curved display. It's a 6.9-inch display. It's really large. If it was years ago, you know, 6.9-inch displays are considered as a tablet. But yeah, we got here the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra and 6.9-inch, and it's perfect for writing notes, drawing something with the S Pen. And since we got here a WQHD Plus resolution, it is crisp. And yes, the dynamic AMOLED 2X display of the smartphone is really good. I think this is the best display that I've seen on a smartphone. I mean, Samsung always wins when it comes to the display, and we got here the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. We got here really good color accuracy, and of course, the outdoor visibility is just excellent. it's excellent. To add to that, there's a 120 Hz refresh rate that I really, really love. I mean, I'm a sucker for a high refresh rate displays. Oh, and speaking of the display, we got here also a better latency for the S Pen, which means that writing on the display of the smartphone feels more natural compared to the predecessor. Another thing, there's a scribbling sound whenever you're writing using the S Pen on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and it's really nice that you have that audio on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. When it comes to speaker, yes, it is superb. That's why watching Netflix on the go on this one is just perfect. Of course, I would suggest that getting the Buds Live just to have, you know, your own privacy. But if you're into the speaker, we got here a really good speakers on this one. It's crisp, it's loud, and it's really excellent. You might think that I've been praising the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra for, you know, I think for a few minutes now. But here's the thing. The battery of the smartphone, it's disappointing. We got here a 4,500 milliamp hours of battery. I know some of you might say that, okay, that's enough, 4,500 milliamp hours, right? No, actually, the thing in here is that it's running on Exynos 990, and it's not as power efficient as the Snapdragon 865 Plus on the US version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. It's disappointing based on our PC Mark test. In our PC Mark Work 2.0 battery life, we got here a score of 8 hours and 12 minutes. And for a flagship smartphone, that is disappointing compared to the previous flagship smartphones that we have ever reviewed. But in my real life usage, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra tend to last longer than I expected. You already know the hardware, you already know the display, you already know the battery life of the smartphone, but how about the performance? Okay, here's the thing. The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra's choice for this Exynos 990 processor is disappointing. So here's the thing. You already know the hardware, the display, and the battery life of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. But how about the performance? So the smartphone that we're using comes in Exynos 990 octa-core processor. We also got here a 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage. Basically, this is the top tier one because this is the 5G version. Anyway, you already know the RAM, you already know the Exynos 990, but how about the real-world performance? Again, just like what I've said earlier, the power efficiency of the Exynos 990 of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is disappointing. They have, I think, a little bit of optimizations because I noticed in our benchmarks and also in our gaming review that the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra does improve a little bit in some of the games that we have also tried on the Galaxy S20 Ultra. However, I still notice that the Exynos 990 still heats up and it affects the battery life of the smartphone, and it also affects the performance that we're getting on the smartphone. Before we get down to the gaming of the smartphone, I already made a gaming review of the smartphone on a separate video. We're gonna talk about that in a short while. Let's talk about first the benchmarks. In Antutu, we got here a score of 532,256, which defeated 77% of the users of Antutu. And yes, for a flagship smartphone, 77%, I think, you know, it's around the mid-range, higher mid-range level. But yeah, 77% isn't that bad, but, you know, I was expecting around 90-80%. Yeah, just a little bit disappointed with that one. In 3D Mark, we got here a score of 6,663 on OpenGLES 3.1 and 5,368 on Vulkan. For Geekbench, we got here a single core score of 757 and a multi-core score of 2,727. Those are the best scores that I can get on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And yes, it isn't the highest that we have seen on a flagship smartphone, but it will do just fine for a flagship smartphone if you're doing, you know, basic task or casual games. But if you're playing some heavy games, you would notice that there will be some frame drop. In our gaming review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, we've discussed it a little bit more detailed on that video. Anyway, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra's Exynos 990 has been upgraded, I think, a little bit, or the games are just optimized even more on the Exynos 990 as we got better FPS. One of the games that we have tried on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is Genshin Impact. Yes, the smartphone was able to run it at the highest settings. Yes, 60 FPS is available. However, if you use the smartphone for Genshin Impact for a while, for a more than 20 minutes or more than 10 minutes, you would notice that there will be a dip in frame drops, maybe because of the thermals. I've noticed that the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra tends to heat up after a few minutes of playing. What I mean by heat up, it's really hot. So basically, the Exynos 990 just fine for a flagship smartphone. But when it comes to thermals, when it comes to comparison with other chipsets, you would know that the Exynos 990 is lagging. And the power efficiency of this one, it's just terrible. I really don't like the power efficiency of the Exynos 990 on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. But here's the thing. Some Galaxy Note 20 Ultra users doesn't care about gaming. They just want the best display. They just want the best experience on a smartphone, and I think the Exynos 990 can deliver that if they are not really into performance. But I believe the battery life or battery performance of the smartphone can really affect on what they feel about the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. For the software, of course, it will come with a different applications. It comes in One UI 2.5, and yes, it's still my favorite UI. It's user-friendly, it's fast, it doesn't lag after weeks of usage on the smartphone, and the colors are just fine. Of course, we got here the different Samsung applications pre-installed on the smartphone, and I love the integration of Samsung and Microsoft. I mean, you can use the My Phone to mirror your Galaxy Note 20 Ultra to your desktop. Of course, you can also use the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra with wireless decks for better productivity. So yeah, it's perfect. It's a perfect smartphone for productivity, as I've been using it for PDF, signing files, and everything. I just love using it. And the One UI 2.5, I think it's really great. Everything is really smooth, and the performance is just really good. As for the software of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, it's running on One UI 2.5. It's fast, it's really good, and it's very user-friendly. So in my usage of this one, yes, it doesn't have too much difference compared to the previous generation of One UI, but the icons are just fine, it's sleek, it is smooth. We got here some shortcuts when we swipe from the edge of the smartphone. It's really good too. And of course, we got here some S Pen features that you would really like, including the Bluetooth shutter. You can use the S Pen as your shutter for selfies, which is really good because sometimes you just want to take a selfie like this, but you can't reach the shutter button on the display of the smartphone. Just use an S Pen. You can take a better selfie with that one. Of course, it will come with different Samsung applications, including the Galaxy Store, and yes, Epic Games is available in that one. So yes, you can download Fortnite on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. So for the camera, we got here a 108 megapixel main camera. It's a wide-angle camera, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide, 12 megapixel telephoto, a 10 megapixel selfie camera, and yes, we got here a laser autofocus sensor. So one of the issues that we've encountered on the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra is autofocus, and with the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, they fixed that one thanks to the laser AF sensor of the smartphone. And the Galaxy S20 Ultra might have a 100 times zoom, but this one only packs a 50 times zoom, and it's not that bad. I mean, I do not need 100x space zoom, right? I mean, 50x is already fine with me. The camera of this one, it's a lot better compared to the Galaxy S20 Ultra. They have a faster autofocus on this one. The shots that I got are crisp. It's really good when it comes to colors. Actually, some of my videos here on my YouTube channel, I've used the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra because there's the Pro Video mode in where you could use an external microphone, including the Galaxy Buds Live, or you can choose an omnidirectional microphone, the rear or the front microphone of the smartphone. It's really cool for vloggers like me if I want to create content. I mean, we got here 8K. Yes, it's 24 FPS, but I do not use 8K, but it's a welcome feature. We got 4K 60 FPS, which is really good. It's crisp, and yes, just like what I've said earlier, there are some videos, I won't mention it, there are some videos in my YouTube channel in where I've used the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and I'm pretty sure that some of you might not have noticed that one. As for the selfies, we got here really nice selfies. It's crisp, it's good, and yes, I've noticed that there's a little bit of smoothing, just a little bit. But overall, I still prefer using this smartphone for selfies rather than my other smartphones. But yeah, I think the best feature about the camera of the smartphone is the Pro Video. Okay, I've talked about the camera. Let's check out the shots that I took using the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra's camera. As you have seen in my shots, most of them are really good. It's crisp, you can notice the bokeh, and yes, the 50 times zoom is a lot better compared to the S20 Ultra. Actually, I think this is the best camera smartphone that I've reviewed for this 2020. And yeah, even the night shots have been improved on the smartphone. So yeah, it's a welcome upgrade for the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and I really like the camera of this smartphone. Again, I've been using this one as my main driver for a while now, and I really love the photo, the video, the single take feature of this smartphone. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is a really interesting smartphone. So here's the thing. Let's do a breakdown. We got here a really nice design, the haze glass finish at the back. It's premium. It's good. We got here the S Pen, which is placed on the other side, but it's fine. It works really fine. We got here 9 ms latency. It feels natural to write on the smartphone even more compared to the previous generation. And the display, my God, it's a 6.9-inch WQHD Plus Dynamic AMOLED 2X display with 120Hz refresh rate. I love playing on this smartphone because of that refresh rate. Okay, and the colors, it's just good. The Dynamic AMOLED 2X, it is excellent. Camera is really fine too. I mean, the 108 megapixel main camera, it's awesome. There's no 100 times space zoom on this one, but the 50 times zoom is already fine for me. And again, the Pro Video mode is something that vloggers would really love on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. Here's the worst part about the smartphone. Again, it's the Exynos 990. It affected a lot of things because of that processor, okay? So the battery has been affected. I mean, you could get less battery time compared to the US version or the Snapdragon version. Yes, it does a single work day sometimes for me, but most of the time I've been asking for a charger or a power bank for the smartphone at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Supposedly, it's around 10 to 8 mostly for me for a flagship smartphone, but for the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, I've been asking for a charger, or I've been looking for a power bank from 10 to 6 p.m. Just at 6 p.m. It's just something that I really don't like. But thankfully, it's pandemic, so most of the time I'm at home. And again, the Exynos 990's performance has been affected as well. You can notice in our benchmarks that it isn't the highest or isn't the best flagship processor that we got right now. And in our gaming review, we've noticed that there's a dip of frame drops when playing on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra for a few minutes after. The performance has been affected too on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra's Exynos 990. As you can see in our benchmarks, it isn't the best processor that we have right now on a flagship smartphone. The Snapdragon variant is a lot better compared to the Exynos 990. And again, we got here some gaming, and we've noticed that there's frame drops after using the smartphone after, just a few minutes of playing, and we've noticed a dip of frame drops when playing games like Genshin Impact. So yeah, I guess that's it for the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. I think this smartphone is for the people who loves productivity. If you want the S Pen, sure, it's the best thing about this smartphone, the S Pen. If you love a good camera, sure, get the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. If you love the large display that you want for watching Netflix and YouTube on my YouTube channel, the display is great. It's 120 Hz, the color accuracy is just excellent, and it's something that you would really love on the smartphone. So the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra comes in two variants. We got here the 4G version, which is priced at $67,990, and the 5G version at $72,990. And if you ask me, I would highly suggest that you get the 5G variant instead. I mean, it's future-proof. I mean, Smart is already rolling out 5G nationwide, so you'll get to experience 5G soon on the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. So I think that's it for our unboxing and review of the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, well, now is the time to subscribe. So once again, I am Jam of jamonline.ph. Thank you for watching, and see you guys again on my next video.